Okay, everybody, welcome. Today will be a very interesting one because things happened to me during this week that I need to share with you. First of all, let me go to the beginning. I was talking about the strings that lead us to each other. This awesome way of tracing how we became aware of each other. And I would like to tell you about, and may I point her out?
Sure, let me come closer.
Okay. Let me begin.
Wait, are you doing Kinha?
Yeah, I can do that.
No, is that who you're going to talk about? Because I know where she is, so I can go in on her.
Right.
She's right there by the building. Yep.
Right over here.
Mm-hmm.
And she had read about my work on the Lower East Side, Orchard and Delancey. And she got so excited because when they came from China, like all refugees, they were very poor. And they lived in the tenements on the Lower East Side. And she began to write to me about it. And she's such a wonderful writer. She gave me history that only somebody who was there would have known. And I was there years later. But I knew the streets. And having been a refugee myself, even though not on the Lower East Side, I understood. And we formed an amazing friendship only through writing to each other and later on calling each other. And she came to visit me. She was here a few days ago. And before anything, let me show you the photographs.
I'll get them for you. Hold on.
Right here. Thank you.
I'm reaching, so I'm trying to hold this camera and reach at the same time.
Yeah, but you can do
keep you in the
anything.
screen.
My door, you can do anything.
And just to tell you quick, Mary Lou says hi, cousin Hetty, and John says hi, Hetty, hi, Dory, hugs from California, and Carol Hodkin is watching.
Hi there.
And she says hi, everyone. Okay, so turn that to me.
And this is Kinha.
And her son, right?
And that is her son,
Okay.
Eli. And she told me the story. And I wanted to tell this story, but I thought it would be too private. And Kenny said, why don't you ask her? And Kina was here this week. And I said, Kina, could I tell the story? And she said, yes, because I know he's safe with Eric and the dog, taking care of him.
Right there.
Is the light good enough?
Yeah, the light's wonderful.
Wonderful.
Everything looks good.
And because Kina gave me permission, I would like to tell you. They came from China, poor as all refugees are. And her brother was her big brother, and he always took care of her.
And what's his name again?
Yeah, Larry.
So that's her brother Larry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He's very tall.
And she sent me photos, and and we both cried together because he was murdered. They don't know who killed him, but the Lower East Side at that time was very dangerous, as so much of New York was. And when she sent me the picture, I said, could I put them into the painting? And she wanted it very badly. So here they are. Here is Kina.
I'll get closer. That's Kina
Yes.
and Eli and her brother
And
Larry.
this is her brother.
And they're standing near Eric and Pixie,
Yes.
right?
And when she said what she said, I began to change how I see things. Because she said, Eric looks so big and strong, and he has a big dog. Wherever my brother is, you put them both together, he can take care of my brother. I would like to think from now on, not of his having been found dead, but of that he's with Eric and the dog, and they're protecting him.
That's a happier thought.
Yes, and it started me off on a whole way of thinking. I once asked my granddaughter, how do you see the world? And that was a few weeks ago. And it sent me off on a completely different tangent, because she said, nothing disappears. Things just change shape. But nothing ever disappears.
Well, it's the law of physics. Energy can't be created or destroyed, only changed in form.
Yeah. But not destroyed, just changed.
Right.
And it made me think, because I miss Eric so much. And yet, as all of us who have lost people we love, I carry him everywhere. Maybe, as Jessie said, the change of shape. Nothing disappears. It just changes shape. Maybe our thoughts are the shape. And maybe this is all conjecture because nobody ever came back
Of course.
to tell us stories.
They're having such a great time. Why would they want to come back here and tell us?
But the fact is, I've become a believer because if that space telescope shows me a planet that is still here billions of years ago, it died, but it's living for me, then why not Eric in some shape or form is waiting for me, because I keep getting messages. Let me tell you about Eric a little bit, because maybe my speaking about him, as Kinha allowed me to speak of her brother, maybe then he exists. Maybe if we speak of the people who passed away, we give them another platform. We bring them back into the world. Maybe there is this miracle that we don't know. Maybe if nothing disappears, we can bring the person back by speaking of them.
Drawing on their energy.
Yes. Through another energy. Eric always believed, and people would say to him, Eric, how come you don't hate the Germans? You were in concentration camp. Your mother was murdered there. Where is the hate? And Eric always had an answer. He said, I'm fighting it. I knew that if I had nobody to hate who hurts me, and now there is nobody who wants to hurt me, maybe that hate is a living thing and will destroy me. I have to get rid of the hate. And through all our marriage, I watched how step by step he got rid of the anger. I'll never forget, we'd be driving. He was the one who always drove. He loved driving. And somebody cut in front. And he said, let's go get that son of a bitch. And I said, Eric. And he toned down. And he said, that's what I have to fight. And he did. And this is the part that I've already told on Facebook and told to so many people. And I need to tell it now because so many of us carry hate. And it's always against something that happened once. And since that person isn't there anymore, the hate sits in us.
We give it power.
We give it power, and it becomes a poison.
Yep.
And I watched once a particularly obnoxious customer came into a gallery and arguing. But I didn't tell you that. I didn't say you should cut that part. And he said, I wrote it down with you. And he didn't get angry. And when she left, he turned to me and he said, did you see? I don't have any hate left anymore. There is no hate in me. And when he was dying, and friends of Kenny's came, because they were gay, and at that time, being gay was so difficult. Now we know, since that space telescope explained that each one of us is made of so many different atoms. We carry everything in us, male, female, cavemen. We're all made of the particles, and some we use and some may come later. Because if you notice, when people get older, their personalities change. Children are so cruel to each other. If you survived childhood, you've learned how to accept.
Yeah. Want me to read some messages?
Yes, I'd love it.
I left off that Carol Hodkin was watching. So Carol said, hi everyone. Lauren Raff says, good evening. Janine says, hello Hetty. Hi everybody. Kathy Lahane Cawthorn is watching. She says, hello Hetty. Amy Lauren is watching. And Dina, going back to your saying about people keeping them inside of us, she says, yes, they are the closest to our hearts and souls, saying hello to them every day. And Lauren says, I agree, Hetty, you can't hold on to hate and anger. It just takes too much of our energy. And Amy Lauren says, love you, Hetty.
And I love all of you. Love is such a gracious thing.
It's only 4 letters, but it's a big word.
Yes, the biggest. The biggest. And I'm thinking the universe is forming as we speak, continually. Maybe it'll take billions of years that we will not know about either. But you and I are forming it at this moment. What if our speeches, our actions, form the universe? Because why are there thunderstorms that come with rain? Why are there forest fires that come with sunlight? The negatives and the positives are constantly. And the other day, Joni and I, my daughter, we went out to eat, and she said, let's go to the Outback. We used to go to the Outback when Eric was alive. And it was only when it was something very special, because it was expensive.
Still is.
It still is. But we could only afford it on something very special.
Mm-hmm.
And Joni and I went there, filled with memories, so many memories. And it wasn't the way it was. It was packed. And I thought, how many people can afford it? But it was packed. And I said to Joni, but we have the memories. We have the memory of all of us. You, Kenny, Eric, and I would come here and celebrate. But I can pull that memory out anytime.
Dust it off and it's like brand new.
Dust it off like brand new. And we were sitting there feeling it. So maybe, Jessie, what you said about the change, maybe it doesn't have to change. I hold it. Memories are there. The good memories. The bad memories, you can get rid of.
Kick them to the curb.
Yeah. And what Joni said, Mom, now we have space to create new memories. And I was thinking, there's a reason why I'm alive. When I was 8 years old, and the world changed because of Hitler, and I was supposed to be afraid of people, but I didn't believe that I'm supposed to be afraid of people.
You see the arm of the chair on top of the painting? John says you're making him nervous.
I didn't yet.
The chair on the painting is touching it, and
Oh.
John says you're making him nervous. There you go.
Okay. Okay.
Better, John?
Okay.
Sorry.
But what I was thinking of,
You were supposed to be
maybe
afraid.
I should stop thinking that there is no tomorrow. Maybe I am living in tomorrow. Because why did they save me? There must be a reason. And it is because when I was 8 years old, I knew that if I made pictures of people, and people would look at them, how could they hate somebody if they see them? And then I ended up telling the stories of all the people.
That's how they really see them, is when they hear the stories. Otherwise, you just see the outside.
Right, right. So maybe I have many years left,
Yes?
and I don't have to rush, and I can create more stories
Mm-hmm. You're making a difference.
and make a difference.
Yep.
How much more time do I have?
I don't know. Let's see. It is 7:20. You got 10 minutes. Can I just read you a couple of things?
I'd love it.
Let's see. Where'd I go to? Phyllis says things remain as love and light. And yes, they do.
And Phyllis,
Energy
keep
is
on drawing.
Julie Williams says, love you, Hetty. Thanks, Dory. Dina says, the memories hug us. Real tight hugs. I'm going to take them out and drag their arms around.
And her son is continuing some of Joni's work.
Who's that?
Julie's son.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yes, because Joni works at prisons
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
trying to change them.
And Phyllis says, you have a great memory. And I told you about John said you were making him nervous, and he said, thanks. And Lauren says, you make a difference every Monday.
Wonderful. Help me to do so. Carry it further.
Yeah, pay it forward, keep it up.
Keep it up because make new memories. We're free. Think a minute, we're allowed to live.
That's a nice way of thinking.
Yeah. And there's space.
Mm-hmm.
And for my part, I have to stop rushing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, painting is so hard. Why is it so hard? Because I'm painting real people.
Yeah.
Someday I'm just going to paint trees again.
Right.
I can't wait. But in the meantime, when I paint, I struggle to remember the person.
Right.
Maybe if I don't struggle, maybe if I bring that person back in my mind, maybe there is magic in our minds. And if we use them correctly, maybe there are magics within us that we have not yet learned to use.
Well, that's a talent. That's your talent. There are writers who make magic with words.
Yeah.
You make magic with your art.
But it's like giving birth, it's hard.
Oh, yes.
And
Yeah.
and if I paint trees, it won't be.
No, because they won't say, make me skinnier.
There you go. But when I finish this, I'm going to allow myself not to do little faces.
Yeah. That's the hard part.
I have no problem with feet and bosoms and behinds.
Just do one big face.
But I have to get the feeling of the person before I get the resemblance right.
So you're going to go hug a tree?
Why not?
And get to know it.
Why not?
Kathy says, I'm so happy to know you, Hetty. Somebody said, Robin Lisa says, I have a painting of a tree you painted in my house.
Yes.
She says, it's amazing. And Amy Lauren says, hey all, how stinking precious is Hetty? I mean, it's actually ridiculous.
Well, you know, I was going to paint while you were watching. And I don't think I have time, do I?
It's 7:24. It would rush you and that would be stressful.
So, let me...
It was more important for you to say the things you said.
Yeah. Forgive me for today. Next week I'll talk less and paint more. Okay?
Yes. And Dina says, as you paint, as I draw a smiley face for each person every day in the sand, each stroke of the smile I draw, I think all about them, hear their message for the day, their laughter.
Dina is an inspiration for me. Dina believes that the people she loves are there for her.
Of course they are.
You know? And that's why I'm painting her jacket the way she wanted.
Yes, and to commit to that belief is amazing. And there is Miss Dina, her blonde hair and her blue jacket next to Jeff, right? And Phyllis says, we love your words of wisdom and experience. You still have 5 minutes, so have at it.
Yeah. You know, I'd like to speak about Dory. Could you point to Dory?
Oh. Yeah, there's Dory. Dory's too big. Hetty needs to make Dory smaller so she could fit 2 more people in this painting. Because I know she's going to find 2 more people that can fit in there.
You know what? Dory stands like this. Kenny needed somebody to work in his office. And when he got Dory, when I needed help with computers, he said, I can lend you Dory. You can't have her because I couldn't be without her.
Like I'm a commodity.
But Dory can do everything. So I lend her to you, but with limited time. So now my problem is she is so busy. And one of the happiest times was when we would celebrate, when she came on Sundays, and we would celebrate with poached eggs and buttered rye bread toast, and water for her and coffee for me. And
So it's your fault I'm fat.
yeah,
No.
but I have an imagination, and I can always imagine that right now we're going to be at the diner.
Yeah, we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
You're busy too.
I know.
And some last minute things. Marie Davis is watching. I'm sure you know who that is. And Dina says, yay.
You know, it was too late for me, but there's a wonderful writer, and his name is Lee Winters.
Okay.
And just before we started the program, he asked if there's any way to connect him so that he can watch it live. And
He's not on Facebook?
I don't know.
Well, he just needs to be your friend, and then he can watch it live.
No, he doesn't watch it live. He watches it a day later,
Okay.
I think, or something like that.
Okay.
But he did something so amazing. He needs to write.
Mm-hmm.
The need in him is there. But he didn't want to go through the usual ways of publishing, etc. So there's a local newspaper called The Patch.
Mm-hmm.
And he writes.
Okay.
And he writes about the people in Long Beach. And I love his wife. She makes beautiful things. And they have a dog named Scout. Like in the Yellow Brick Road.
Oh, the little Cairn Terrier.
Yeah. And I am going to live a long time because I'm not going to rush anymore.
That's it.
And I would like to wish all of you everything wonderful.
And your light's going to shine on in all of us forever anyway.
Yes.
Because you're so bright. That's why I'm wearing sunglasses.
I feel it. And I know why Kenny couldn't give me Dory without qualifications of you can't have her just a little bit. Because she's one of the best friends I ever had.
Aw. Now you're going to make me get weepy.
That's good.
Okay. It's 7:29.
Goodbye, everybody. I love you, and let's love the world, and maybe then it'll love us back.
There you go.
Bye-bye.